Yes, 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 yes. Come on, let's go. I tell you, people, this is Monday. Today is Monday. You know the date. I gotta tell you, you're done in the building. Today is Monday. This is how we do it. Oh my goodness, y'all, welcome to the show. How was your weekend? Mine was awesome. Manchester United 3 points. Arsenal losing 3 points. I love this weekend. Chelsea, they could only draw. Oh my goodness. Prof is fuming upon Enzo Fernandez. 1 point. 1 point in the bag. Chayomi Dura is fuming. What is going on with Chelsea? And I tell you, we're going to talk about Man City. Man City in the mud right now. They are in trouble. They are in charge of their downfall right now. It is what it is. Please smash the like on the video. Smash the like on the video. Let's do this. You're welcome to the show. This is INTERCONTINENTal SPORTS TV. I have in the studio with me 4 great men ready. I'm telling you, Prof is ready. Robbie is ready. Ope is also ready. He's telling me he's going to talk about Arsenal. What happened? Everton. Show them. They couldn't even do anything. No Saka, no party. No party, no party. I tell you, Chayomi Dura is also here. But first, let me welcome this great gentleman. His name is Robbie. Robbie, can you hear me? All the way from Ibadan. Talk to me, Robbie.
I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear.
3 points. Tell them, how do you do it?
Good evening to you. Good evening to you, Don. Good evening to the guys on the program. I think it was a wonderful weekend because it was a weekend like no other. The whole plot for the weekend actually started on Friday because of Fulham drew against Chelsea, and of course the first surprise. I've been upon all the Owo Tabua that they spent. So on Saturday, Arsenal lost against Everton, and of course, Sean Dyche becoming the 6th manager of Everton to win his first game in charge at the Goodison Park. And of course, Manchester United did our business as we should. We got 3 points. And Liverpool, I really don't understand what is going on with that team. Even shooting stars, they beat them. And ultimately, I think the biggest loss of the weekend was Manchester City against Tottenham Hotspur. But let's not take away anything from Tottenham Hotspur. And of course, Harry Kane in wonderful company alongside Alan Shearer and of course Wayne Rooney. So I think it was a wonderful weekend on my part. Wonderful weekend.
I tell you, that's being said, I'm going to welcome this great gentleman with this music, with these vibes, to calm down. His name is Okpe Adebari. I'm playing this music for you, Okpe, to calm down. Assassin in charge. Talk to me, bro. Talk to me. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, the Don, I'm very calm. Do you know why? Because my North London neighbors, they did me a favor yesterday by humbling Pep Guardiola and his board. So I'm in a good mood.
All right. So I should bring it on.
Let's bring it on.
All right, you're welcome, bro. You're welcome. All right. That being said, also, this great gentleman, Chayomi Dura, he's fuming. He's angry. Enzo Fernandez. I don't care. Talk to me, Shay. How do you feel? You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening, Don. It's the cold, wet, and windy evening in Ibadan.
I know.
It's been raining for the last half hour. Well, to be fair, Chelsea did not play well on Friday night. I think compared to previous games in the Premier League, the performance level against Fulham was a bit of a downer. It was a disappointment. I think it was largely down to playing so many of the new signings. It seemed like the team lacked the required cohesion to actually play against Fulham. The Fulham side were really dogged, and they were really well organized. Without possession, they pressed Chelsea in really dangerous areas. They won possession as well, pretty high up the pitch sometimes. So Chelsea struggled for large periods, although I still feel Chelsea had the better chances to have won the game through Kai Havertz, who yet again shows that he's not a number 9. I really don't know what he's really good at. I feel he has no. Honestly, I don't think he has a position that we can say this is his best role. Maybe Prof can help us explain, but I have my doubts about him. And then we had drama at the top of the table with Everton beating Arsenal on Saturday, the early kickoff. But Man City yet again failed to win at Tottenham's ground. I think they've now played 5 matches at Tottenham where they've actually lost without scoring. So 5 losses on Spain. So it was a really good weekend for Arsenal, all in all, because we all thought Man City would finally get the win at Spurs' ground, but they couldn't. And Arsenal are the biggest winners of the weekend, in my opinion.
You're welcome. With that being said again, I'm using this music, the vibes, to welcome this great gentleman. Prof, talk to me. How you feeling after drawing? Upon all, Enzo Fernandez. Upon all, it's still draw. How you feeling? I'm just using this music to calm you down. Talk to me, bro.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, you're welcome to the show.
It's good to be on the show today. After a great weekend of football. Just a few hours ago, news reaching us about Man City being charged by the Premier League in a very, very serious case of, and then we're seeing the possible outcome of this is not looking good for Man City at all. The list of possible punishments we're seeing about them being points deduction or being relegated or some of their titles being revoked. There are a whole host of lots of consequences that this may have for Man City, and it's a very, very huge news. Yeah, but with that, I say good evening and welcome to the show, everybody.
All right, you're welcome. With that again, Kere. I'm using this to welcome Kunle. Kunle, talk to me. Manchester United 3 points over the weekend. Are you happy, Kunle? Talk to me. 3 points.
Yes, sir.
After Casemiro calamity. But we still made the 3 points. Talk to them. Yarn them.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Good evening, John. Good evening, everyone. Yes, what a good weekend it was for Manchester United. I mean, when every other traditional heavyweights did not get a point, did not get favorable points, Manchester United were able to do that. Yeah, even though with 10 men in about 10 minutes remaining, it shouldn't have happened, but we got the 3 points, and the Red Army keeps marching on.
All right, you're welcome, Kunle. Yes, let me run this once again for all our viewers. This is our talking point today. Manchester City charged by EPL. Everton do the unthinkable versus Arsenal. We're going to discuss that. Also, Madrid suffer another title setback against Mallorca. Also, Chelsea, 600 million pounds praise seems more scattergun than strategic. We're going to talk about Liverpool's slump continues. Casemiro red card. Should Manchester United appeal? We are going to discuss that. Another sport we're also going to talk about. You're welcome, guys, onto the show. Let's get straight into it. I'm going to start with you, Okwe Adebari. That question number 1, the talking point for today. Manchester City charged not too long ago. How are you feeling? What's your take on this? Yeah, you have to unmute your mic. All right.
So give me the done. I think first of all, it's quite sad that we've come to this, but I think most importantly is the diligence done by the FA. This is an investigation that has taken place over 2 years, and now they've got all their facts right, and then they brought this information to the light. And this spans across the season of the 2009-2010 till the 2017-2018 season. So you could even see them lose some titles. Manchester United might be given some titles, and then United will then further have that edge over Liverpool with the most Premier League titles in the history of Premier League football. But time will tell. I'm very much aware that City have immediately put out an official statement saying they do want an independent body to rerun the investigation. The Premier League have responded saying that they will not be allowed to get another independent body involved, not FIFA, not the sports of arbitration, not UEFA. The fact is that Manchester City are guilty. So it's just a matter of time till the final verdict is given to them. And it's so ridiculous because they could have so many different types of punishments, starting from points deduction, relinquishing titles, and I think the worst part is that they might be banned from the English Premier League. Imagine Manchester City of today being dropped all the way down to probably League 2. I mean, that would be a disaster, not just for the club itself, but I
Yeah.
think it would also have a ripple effect on both the Premier League and the Champions League because these leagues thrive around the best of the best. Manchester City are currently one of the best of the best, and if truly and truly they are guilty, we should be expecting a resignation from Pep Guardiola. 2 years ago, when City were in this battle with UEFA, Pep Guardiola was quoted saying that he spoke to the club about the issue when it came to financial fair play. He asked them if they were guilty or not. They told him no, and then he said to them that look, if the club is eventually found guilty, they will lose a friend in him, and he will no longer want to be associated with the club. So, and I think that's something bad that could happen to them, considering the way things are right now. They're not even in the best vein of form, and who better to turn things around than Pep Guardiola himself? So it seems like things are just getting worse for Manchester City.
All right. Also, Prof, how do you feel Pep Guardiola is it going to stick? Do you think it's going to stick with Man City or will be moving all the way to Chelsea? Or I mean, what do you think
Well,
about it, Prof?
I really hope for the latter to happen. But look, like Okwe has actually said most of the things that I was about to say on the issue. It's a very terrible, terrible news. And look, the way Man City have been operating, over the years, it's been a little bit suspicious because they don't have the fan base that every other club like Arsenal and likes of Liverpool and the United have, and then they've been making a lot of signings, and yet they've been declaring that they've been earning lots of money back. How are they earning this money? They at best they have 35,000. God, we used to see Guardiola complain about the stadiums not being filled up. At best they have strong 35,000 fans. Where are they getting the remaining 30,000? Extra from? It's been a little bit manufactured. The whole Man City, the whole Man City group. This is when they came to the since when the Abu Dhabi people took over it. The progress has been so sudden and so fast. And then look, when things like that happen, you have to begin to get suspicious. They've been accused that they are not working properly with the FA in investigations. They were withholding informations back, and that is also like a very serious crime. So, like Opa said, look, for me, I fear for the worst for them, for Man City. I expect that they will get it. I don't see them coming out of this unscathed. I think they will get punished. Well, whatever punishment that might be, I don't know for now, but I don't. It's something that can affect them down to obviously to the manager. You see, back as soon as they are hit with punishment, I expect Guardiola to resign and move to somewhere else. So it's going to be terrible for them. I don't know if I should wish them well or not. Yeah.
Once again, also I'm thinking, Sheye, do you have any other side to the story? What's your point? We want to make a point on that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Okpe and Prof have actually done a good job explaining the entire scenario or situation rather. I think it will actually be surprising if City are relegated to the Championship or even League One. I think that would be bad for the league. That would be bad for the Champions League as well. So I want to believe it's going to be a points deduction and a heavy fine, but I don't see how they will be dropped down to a lower division. That will be a disaster, to be honest. So I don't see that happening. But really, Prof and Okpe have done a good job explaining the entire situation. So yeah, I actually wish them the best because it's really not good for the league to see one of the best teams in the Premier League and also in Europe suffer a demotion on that of that scale. So I hope they come out strong in the end. But really, I think there will be a points deduction. But I want to believe with that, if that's the only punishment, I think Pep might stay.
Well, let's move on to this manager being sacked. Kunle, this guy has been sacked. Your friend, your personal person, Leeds United. You want to say something about it? Because in fact, also we'll be playing Leeds in the next couple of days, in 2 days' time now. I mean, what do you think about the sack of Leeds?
So someone today was actually saying that why did they have to sack him at this point when United were playing like Let United play.
Let's finish.
Let's finish them.
We don't want to. What happened to Arsenal?
Exactly, because you don't want with the manager bounce thing happening and all. But it's rather sad though, because I actually like Jesse Marsh, because he's a product of the Red Bull football system, which is, for me, is arguably the best football. Is actually the best football structure in the world. I mean, looking at the caliber of coaches and players that have come out of clubs that are affiliated with the Red Bull football group. So it was very sad because when Leeds really kind of changed under Marsh, but there wasn't just enough consistency. At least compared to the likes of Bielsa, where they were always going to be conceding lots of goals, even though they were scoring. Leeds kind of looked more disciplined and all, but it now seemed like goal scoring became their problem this time around, which was not the case under Bielsa. And the results were not just coming. After they beat Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield, I think they beat Bournemouth. And since that time, they've not won a single game. So, and if you look at where they are on the table,
17.
Exactly, 18 points. It's dangerous territory. And I don't think Leeds can afford to see themselves going down, saying they are going back to the Championship. Not after being away from the Premier League for almost 18 years or thereabout. They can't afford to do that. So I guess maybe it's a good decision. We don't know who is going to come in now, because I think this was what happened last season too. Bielsa was sacked midway, Marsh came in, and he saved Leeds, and it seems like it's the same story here.
Same story again. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's hope whoever comes in will be able to save them. So I can't blame him, but it's rather sad. But the results need to come in, because before now season is over and relegation looming. So they need to take action, and if this is it, let's hope they get the results that matter.
All right. Also, thank you, Kunle. Let's move on to this guy. Hold on a second. I think Robbie you're going to. Yeah.
Yeah, just before we move forward to the next thing, I just want to say something quickly about Jesse Marsh. I was actually at the Leeds United Stadium like 2 weeks ago to watch their FA Cup game against Cardiff City, and despite the fact that they won that game, I spoke to some Leeds United fans, and then all of them in unison, they wanted Jesse Marsh to go. But why is that? Because of poor form in the Premier League. Now, they've been in the league for consistently for about 4 to 5 years now. But you see, the fans are impatient because they want to get back to where they used to be in previous years, being league specialists, while they were still in the league, between the late 80s and 2002. So the board as well, they've been getting pressure from the fans. So locally, Jesse Marsh is not really liked. They don't like the fact that he's bringing in a lot of foreigners and Americans. And then, the English locals of the team, they seem to have lost their place in the team. If you notice, under Jesse Marsh, Patrick Bamford lost his place in the team. But, for a good reason. The manager has only been, tried to be objective in trying to put the right type of team together to not only survive relegation, but to thrive. But definitely it's been difficult. And one thing I must remind everyone about, even Kunle, is the fact that we all know that there are rumors about Jesse Marsh and his poor man management. Despite being a good product of, the Red Bull Institute, Jesse Marsh is one person who is not always loved by every player at the club. One player always has something to say about him. So there are questions about his man management as well as his own personal ethics and the way he runs things as a manager. So maybe it was best they departed with, but only time will tell.
All right, thank you so much. Let's move on to this topic of Casemiro. Casemiro received a red card. Robbie, I want to start off with you. What do you think about this topic on Casemiro? Shown a straight red card. It's going to be match ban for three matches now. So after a VAR check over the weekend. What's your take on this, Robbie?
First straight red card of his career. It's not like as if he has never been red carded before, but this is the first official straight red card he had gotten. First and foremost, my views might be a little bit funny, but if you actually go back to the incident of that game, the incident started with Anthony. At that point in time, Casemiro came in to actually do the big brother thing. And let's not forget the fact that we have 3 Brazilians in the starting lineup of Manchester United in that particular game. And of course, looking at the antecedent of how things were, yes, there have been debates as touching, it was more or less an unintentional gesture from Casemiro in terms of that particular player. But looking at it again, I'm going to say that this is somebody who has been in the game for a very long time. He knows better. He should have done better. And of course, yes, like I said, having played football and having seen scuffles like this also on the pitch, the truth is, some of these scuffles they are not necessary. Some of them you can just practically turn your back and walk away from. Why? Because there is an official on the field. At the end of the day, when both teams or when both set of players are done bickering at each other, they will still go back to the referee. So at this point in time, I really do not see a need for why he had to be there. The player at that point in time was not severely injured, talking about Anthony. So it was more or less like a scuffle of, why did you push me? And all those kind of very, very funny things. So he could have easily walked away. This is a player who just came back from a suspension that cost United the game against Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal played very well that day, but we all are scratching our heads over the fact that if Casemiro was in that match, United probably wouldn't have lost that game. And here you are again. Your first match after suspension, you bagged 3-match suspension for a violent conduct. So I really don't think it is looking good for the player. I don't know if United will miss him. I don't know, because we saw Sabitzer come in the last 20 minutes of that game, and he gave a good account of himself. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what the manager is thinking at this point in time, but I hope and I pray that United will survive his absence for the next 3 games coming up. But
which 3 game is that? I think Leeds United.
Leeds United is 1 game. I think I don't know the other 2 fixtures.
I think home and away. Leeds United.
Yes, I think the last fixture is against
Leicester City.
Okay, so I think these are games that United can navigate without Casemiro. They are games United can navigate without him. So, but in Europe is where he's needed. So I think for Barcelona's game, he should be available to play. But going forward, I really don't think this is what he needs for himself. And of course, this is not what the team needs right now.
All right, Prof, do you want to say something about that Casemiro saga?
Look, when the brawl happened live, I don't think anybody saw what Casemiro had done to Will Hughes. So for me, this is where, no doubt about it, it was a silly incident. It was a silly thing to do by Casemiro. Like Robbie said, he should know better. He's an experienced player. But for me, I think VAR, I think they did a little bit. They did over Sabi in this situation a little bit, because they went looking for it. You know, it was Anthony and somebody else that had the issue, and then when you start going into the territory of handpicking and start looking at it, they didn't look at the whole incident, because I'm very sure that if you looked at the whole incident, you would see other players. I think there was an issue.
I think Ayew and Fred.
Is it one? Ayew and Fred, exactly. You know, that was a card offense as well. So you cannot leave one and choose one. If you want to look at everything, look at it holistically. But for me, I think they did a little bit too much there. But analyzing the incident in isolation, I think it was a little bit of a disgrace from Casemiro. Yeah, and it deserves the ban.
Yeah. Oh, Kunle, do you think Manchester United should appeal? Because I'm fuming about that thing.
Yeah. No. Yes, I feel United should appeal. And the reason is that this thing wasn't just about Casemiro, yeah.
Kunle, sorry. Let me quickly chip this in. Kunle, if United lose that appeal, his ban will be extended.
Yeah, that's another thing.
And I think the fourth game is against Newcastle in the final.
The finals. Okay,
I don't
it's
think
okay.
they will take the chance.
No happy.
No, but I'm just saying that maybe for the sake of fairness, okay. Yes, I understand. That's why it's two ways. Because, like you rightly said, there was an incident involving Fred that was unchecked. There were other incidents. So, like, they need to review. It's for the sake of fairness. Because if only Casemiro gets punished here and no other person gets any punishment from Crystal Palace, then I'm sorry. I think that goes to tell you everything that, look, officiating is never going to be fair because it should be looked at, right? But if they don't do that, I mean, that says a lot about how poor officiating is in the Premier League.
Well, let's move on to over to Okwe right now. Let me show you the where's this? Okay, now this is a league for Barcelona, and also I'm looking for, I think I lost it. Hold on a second. Now, okay, what happened to Arsenal over the weekend? You are still on top.
Yeah, it was simple. It was a Sean Dyche masterclass. On Friday, I did explain to you what you should expect from a Sean Dyche team.
Yeah, you said so.
And also, I think it was pretty much simple. Arsenal were not just able to be clinical in front of goal. Despite Sean Dyche team doing what they know how to do best, playing Brexit football, Arsenal created a couple of chances, but they were not just clinical with them. If Arsenal was clinical with those chances, they would have won the game. There were at least two clear-cut chances that could have been put at the back of the net. The first one by Nketiah in the first half, Saka and Odegaard creating the chance for him. He then getting the ball, but instead of hitting the target, he skies it over. The second chance was in the second half, created by Nketiah, setting it on the plate for Odegaard. Odegaard was not able to find the target. And then, would you know that the goal considered by Arsenal is the first goal that they are conceding from any sort of set piece this season? Mind you, the goal was set up by a former Burnley player and it was scored by a former Burnley player. So you can understand the tactics that were put into play by Sean Dyche. So I'll give it to him. Kudos to him. And I think we need to also single out Andre Onana and Idrissa Ganaghe. There were two outstanding players for me.
Very outstanding.
I'm a big fan of them, especially Onana. That's someone who I think will be difficult to still see him in an Everton jersey next season. And even if he's going to go on Everton, to ask
that guy is very good.
I dare to say that he reminds me a lot of a young Patrick Vieira. He's tall, strong, he's fast. I mean, for someone with that height, he's pretty.
And he can dribble.
Exactly, he can do it all. That's why I compared him to a young Patrick Vieira. He can dribble, he can hold the ball, he can tackle, and his tackles are clean. And I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He stays focused for 90 minutes and he plays good football. I know, for us now, look, they know this, and Arteta knows this. If you want to win the league, you need to win games like this. You need to be able to be dogged and win games like this. Sometimes your pattern of play will not always work for you, and sometimes you just need to go direct. But then I will commend Arteta. He made right substitutions at the right time. I love the fact that he took off Martinelli and Partey when he did. Kudos to Jorginho. He played well when he came on. He couldn't really have done any better. He did what he needed to do, and I'm glad that I could finally see for myself what Arteta wants from Jorginho. So it was good to see from our own end. I'm saying it's good to see now because I can see the positives out of it. But obviously, after Spurs did magic for me yesterday, so Arsenal just need to, dust their shoulders, forget about it. It has happened. Move on now. They need to bounce back against Brentford. I need to see a commanding response from them because they need to be in good spirits and have confidence going into the game against Manchester City. Mind you, I believe and I know for a fact that Arsenal can get the win over Manchester City. They just need that confidence. They need to be a bit more assertive. And then if Gabriel Martinelli does not get that spark back, I think it's safe to just start Leandro Trossard. I think Martinelli needs a break. He's
really
back, and he needs to be refreshed, in my own opinion. So I'm expecting a different squad to play against Brentford. I'm expecting to see a debut from Yakukiwa. I'm expecting to probably have Trossard start, have Jorginho start as well. With all due respect to Brentford, I believe Arsenal can get the victory as well, preparing for Manchester City.
All right. Over to you, Shaye.
Oh,
you want to say something?
I have a question for Ope, please. What the heck is Brexit football?
That's just a term that was given.
The boss football.
Exactly. Low blocks, not doing anything pretty, playing direct.
For straight the enemy kind of football.
You guys are
just get people at the back. Getting the 3 points is the most important thing. If you listen to Sean Dyche's post-match interview, you understand. They asked him, "You played a good game against the league leaders today. How did you do it?" He simply said, "Well, I told the boys not to let the ball get into the back of my nets, and I told them to get the ball in their own nets." It's as simple as that. And he said he wasn't really bothered with what was going to happen. You know, less about Arsenal playing crazy. Is don't let them score while you score. It's as simple as that. That's Sean Dyche for you.
I feel Sean Dyche is not celebrated. That man is not like celebrated enough. Because I just like the fact that look, I tell people, see, I think, and I still blame it on Guardiola, because Guardiola has, this way that you have to play well, before you look. Football is simply about getting the result. Look, whichever way you play, doesn't matter. Just get the 3 points. When you get the 3 points, it gets you to where you are going. Simple. And this guy did it for multiple. He gave Burnley survive. They survived in the Premier League for 6 seasons in total. You know how many other teams got relegated before that? I know, yes, at the end of the day, it crumbled and all. But I think all of that happened when maybe they got to the Europa League.
That same Burnley is coming back again.
You see, so you understand. So I feel Sean Dyche doesn't get enough praise because for you to do it over and over, I was so confident. I was kind of confident that Everton were going to win that game, and I wasn't surprised that it happened. You don't need to play. You are not going to obviously play Arsenal. Arsenal are way better than you. You just have to devise a means to just ensure that these people, you frustrate them and, and that's what happens. And he's done it over the years. But I don't know why people don't just appreciate people like that, because it's not easy. What people fail to realize that it's not easy. So when someone does such a thing over and over again, I think such a person deserves praise rather than say stuff about he's playing negative. See, I used to say there's nothing called negative football. Okay. You are not killing anybody in the game, right? You are simply getting the result. And if you get the result, it is positive. It's when you don't get the result that you can say it is negative. But once you get the result, it's positive, man. So I feel he should be getting more praise, and I hope he gets to keep Everton up, because what they did on Saturday, that was very phenomenal.
Yes. Shaye Midora, please, I want you to shed more light on this topic. You're going to start with this, and it's all about this, our red neighbor, that's Liverpool. They are in the mud right now. Shaye, they are your friends. You have to say something about Liverpool at this moment.
It's rather convenient that we don't have Irie on it.
I'm telling you, I won't finish Irie today. All right, Shaye, we can take over from there.
Yeah, well, Chelsea are now a point above Liverpool, so Chelsea are now in ninth. Liverpool have now dropped down to 10th. So even though Chelsea drew, that's a positive. That's a positive for Chelsea. But jokes apart, I think this is actually quite alarming now for Liverpool. They've now gone 4 league games without a win. They've only scored once in that run.
Terrible.
They've considered 3 goals against Brentford, Brighton, and against Wolves on Saturday. I think it's now worrying. Salah, even they have issues across the pitch defensively. They are sixes and sevens. They keep making defensive mistakes. I think in midfield their intensity is lacking. Yeah, Liverpool are known for their intensity and their pressing, but I think across the pitch they are struggling to create their to press rather. They are struggling to counter press. I think they leave gaps open for opponents to take advantage of. They've lost their identity, which is mostly their intensity and their pressing, and they need to get it back. And that's why I feel in January, of course, I know they got Cody Gakpo for a really reasonable amount, but I imagine there would be other areas strengthening, particularly their midfield, which I feel has needed reinforcement for a couple of years now. But then Gakpo was the only signing they brought in. Rumor has it that they are pushing for Jude Bellingham in the summer. I don't know if they were able to convince him for to sign for them without Champions League football, because at this point, given their form, I don't see how they make the top four. Mohamed Salah is struggling. He has not hit the targets in his last four Premier League matches now, so he's also struggling to. Yeah, he's struggling to actually get chances and also even finish. So really, they are having issues all over the park. And they are also conceding loads of chances defensively. So it's not even about just their lack of goals defensively as well. They're conceding chances. This could have been 4 or 5 for Wolves. It was that bad in my opinion. So they just need to. It's hard. Club seems to really not have the ideas to turn this around, because I saw him really angry on the bench on Saturday, where he was complaining to, it seemed, Anderson and Milner, and he just doesn't know what he can do to turn this around. But I just think, owing to how he has flourished at Liverpool in recent years, it deserves the time to actually turn things around. I feel they need to reinforce that side because they've grown all together. Most of their players, or most of their key players, are either in their late 20s or in their early 30s. So they need that squad needs to be reinvigorated. Really, they need to bring in new signings across several positions. Gakpo, I know he's getting banter on social media, but I just feel he's a new signing. He needs time to adapt to the new league and also to his new teammates. So in time, I think he would adapt to his new surroundings. But I feel Liverpool, all in all, they need to reinforce the major positions in their side, particularly their midfield.
Yes. All right. Now let's
quickly on Liverpool.
All right.
For me, I think there's a fundamental problem wrong with that team. This year alone, their highest goal scorer is Leicester City's defender Fast. That's Liverpool's highest goal scorer this year. It means the front players are not firing at all. Suddenly Mo Salah looks a shade of himself. For me, I think it's more than the fact that they need players and they need to reinforce. I think what they have in that team is very much capable of winning football matches, and they are not doing that at the moment. They are starting games very, very slow. That's not the Liverpool that we know. They've recruited in the forward players. Say your back line and your midfield has a problem. How about getting the ball in net? I've seen Mo Salah losing clear-cut chances. Yeah, their record signing, Darwin Nunez, has been through on goal time and time again and still scruffing the shot. So for me, the manager has to be asked questions. Something must be wrong behind the scenes. The training field or something. I don't think he's getting the best out of those players at the moment in time. And if this continues, he has enough credit in the bank, so we think. But the way FSG, the way the Fenway Sports Group, the way they think, they silently move. I remember when Brendan Rodgers was sacked, it was a shock. We were on the show and they just sacked him just like that after the tremendous work that he did for Liverpool, almost getting them to the title. I'm not suggesting any way that Klopp will be sacked, but if this result continues, they are in the relegation form, to be honest, at this moment in time, Liverpool. So if this result don't improve, then we might start looking at the manager and asking questions.
All right, smash the like on the video, people. This is Intercontinental Sport TV. Now we are moving on to this great man. Is the star player of the week. Robbie, can you please go for this guy? His name is Harry Kane of Tottenham Hotspur. He's our star player of the week.
In fact, I think everybody has got a whole lot of superlatives to talk about this man. Yes, the only deficit hanging over his head is after scoring all this amount of goals,
no trophy.
He has not been able to get even the Carabao Cup to show for all his efforts. And I think that aside, we all can attest to how much this man, how much this player has contributed to the success of Tottenham Hotspur as a team, to Tottenham Hotspur as a club. Yes, they got to the UEFA Champions League finals. They did not win it, but I think it's an amazing thing for him. He is the all-time goal scorer for Tottenham Hotspur. That is one stat to consider. Secondly, another stat I came into contact with today is the fact that Harry Kane has scored against every EPL opponent that he has faced. Every single EPL opponent he has played against, Harry Kane has scored against them. So this is one stat that is something rare that you see. He is in esteemed company of Wayne Rooney and Alan Shearer as the only three players who have scored over 200 EPL goals. So that tells you what is something special about Harry Kane going forward. But like I said, let's leave out the fact he has not won a trophy. But for the EPL, he is good PR for the league. He's good PR for Tottenham Hotspur. And I'll tell you, he has done amazingly well for the team. Hopefully, before he leaves the stage, he's able to get a trophy. Even if it is the Carabao Cup, hopefully they will get something. He will get something. Even if he leaves Tottenham Hotspur tomorrow, my prayer for him is the fact that he goes to a team that can win a trophy for him. So, because that is the joy of any player, that is the joy of any professional playing the game of football. So, for Harry Kane, he has done very well, and of course, I think he deserves all the credit coming his way right now.
Yes, smash it like on the video for Harry Kane. Harry Kane is the star player of the week. All right, people, let's. All right, Kunle.
Yeah.
On Harry Kane.
It's a question that I am having. Like, it's a question I have. Why is it that when people make this assertion that because Harry Kane has not won a trophy or something, I now make it makes it sound as though like him not winning a trophy has undermined everything he has done. Ooh. I mean, people forget that this guy scored 200 goals in the space of 9 years. Alan Shearer did not
cannot even score anything.
To show for what? To show for what? Kunle, tell me what? What does he have to show for it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even with England. So
Kunle, I feel
Kunle, they are coming for you.
I feel it's very unfair.
No.
Because wait. No, it is because wait, Robbie. Because if let us now say at the end of the day, it is now the Carabao Cup that he was able to win. Are you now going to be using that to parade his achievements and all? I'm sorry to say, but whatever Harry Kane. And this guy is not done yet. The way he's going, he's actually going to break Alan Shearer's. And that's what I want to see. If he has not won anything before then, so what are we going to say? So people would say maybe because he didn't win a trophy or something, he's not.
Only quick question for you. Don't worry. I won't break your stride. Quick question for you. Did Alan Shearer win an EPL title or not?
He did. But let me now point. Yes, he did. But let me now point something out. The bulk of his goals came at Newcastle United. He didn't win anything at Newcastle United. People don't really remember Shearer as such during his time in Blackburn Rovers because he didn't spend much time there. People remember Shearer during his days at Newcastle United. That's what, and people still say.
And that fear factor or that respect for Alan Shearer is coupled with the fact that he won an EPL title.
No, it is not. That is where you guys get it wrong. It is not that attachment. It was what he did at Newcastle. Newcastle came very close on many occasions. Nobody, even when they talk about Alan Shearer, nobody even talks about, say, the Premier League. Hardly is it ever mentioned. But when they talk about Alan Shearer, it is those goals. And that is what he's being remembered for. So I don't know why people are trying to want to like water down, because that's how I see it. Like what Kane is doing is being watered down because like I said, so if he's now Carabao Cup even, because at least the Premier League even has weight, right? Let's now assume that Kane doesn't win the Premier League or Champions League, and is now Carabao Cup. So that's what you will now be using to put beside his goals. Come on, guys. Come on. Please.
All right, Kunle, with this. Move on to this remembering the flowers of Manchester United quickly, as a Manchester United fan, you might want to say something about this.
Yeah. Today marks is this not 65?
65 years.
Yeah, 65 years. I mean, that was a tragedy. I mean, you losing virtually an entire team in a plane crash. It's a very very dark thing, and it's a very dark moment. I mean, that's why you would see Manchester United doing a remembrance every year, because these were among the best players that brought glory and honor to the club. And it's rather unfortunate that they were all most of them were gone and were lost. But you see how Manchester United has grown stronger than ever since that moment. I mean, Manchester United today is arguably the most talked about club in the world. Everybody, there's so much media attention on them, and that's simply because of the success that had followed from, that has been built over the years since this happened. So, though it's a very quiet, it's a sad one, but we can actually look with pride that that club has really grown in stature since then, and club is definitely going to continue to grow, because Manchester United actually keeps growing bigger in stature. So we can always be thankful for that.
All right, let's move on to this. We are going to move on to our top 10, quick one on the African top 10 this week. We're going to start with number 10 quickly. His name is Toluwalashe Emmanuel Arokodare. He scored a goal in Gang's 3-2 Belgian Pro League win over Ghent. Ope, do you know this guy?
No, I know him very, very well.
Wow, really?
Before he left Nigeria, I was at the last scouting, like his breakout scouting session before he got picked over by a club in Cyprus. And I've been following his progresses. He had a bad time at Cologne in Germany, but from there he got signed by Amiens in France, had a decent season. But you know what? He's got the potential. He's tall, he's fast, and he can finish with both feet. And after Genk lost Paul Onuachu, they look towards the future. He's at the right age. He's 22 years old. And then, he has the potential. And you could see that he scored on his debut. And he's got the right set of players around him to help him get better and to help him grow. So, good move for him. And I look forward to seeing him in a Super Eagles jersey soon.
All right. Now, let's move on to number 9 for this week. His name is Joseph Aido of Ghana. He scored a goal in Celta Vigo 4-3 La Liga win over Real Betis. And on to number 8 because of our time. His name is Anas Zarori of Morocco, who scored a goal in Burnley 3-0 championship win over Norwich City. And moving on to number 7, his name is Sebastian Haller of Ivory Coast, who scored a goal in Borussia Dortmund 5-1 Bundesliga win over Freiburg. And also moving on to number 6, the star man, his name is Hakimi of Morocco, who scored a goal, provided an assist in PSG 2-1 League 1 over Toulouse. Robbie, do you want to say something about this main guy, Hakimi of Morocco?
Well, at least for those okay, well, don't let me say that, because Kunle knows a couple of things I do. But the thing is, for Achraf Hakimi, I think it's a wonderful one for him. He was in phenomenal form for Morocco during the World Cup, and we saw a whole lot that he did for the team. And of course, since his time with PSG, having also played for Real Madrid, he has just been exceptional for the team. So for him to be able to get a goal and also provide an assist, that is for a PSG that were without Mbappe, that were also without Neymar, with Messi, and of course a couple of other guys carrying the weight for them. I think is a good one for him, and of course it's a good one for the team as well.
All right, moving on to number 5. Number 5 for this week. His name is Brian. Hold on a second. I'm trying to pull it up. Number 5 for this week. His name is Brian Buemo. Yes. Prof, do you want to say something about this guy?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
I like
player.
him. He plays the game very well. He's very enthusiastic. He puts his all, gives his all into the football match. He's one of their star men in Brentford. Comes up with assists, comes up with the goals. I think he's one Arsenal should fare. I was listening to earlier.
Okay, be careful. Beware of this guy.
Arsenal is no stranger to Brian Mbuemo and Brentford. So we are good.
Ope was suggesting that Arsenal rest their players. I don't think that would be a good idea. I think they have to go very strong. I think Brentford, they are in form side at the moment, and this guy is very, very key to what they do. With him and Ivan Toney and Wissa, 3 of them up front are very dangerous. So I would advise Arsenal, go in very strong against these people. But Mbemo, fantastic player.
Moving on to number 4. Our main guy, this man. They call this guy one name? What's it called? They have
Senior man.
Senior man. Yeah, senior man. Yeah, who scored a goal, provided as 2 assists in Leicester season 4-2 Premier League win over Aston Villa. Sheye, do you want to quickly say something about this? Make our senior man. Oh, I lost Sheye. Sheye, can you hear me? I'm not sure. All right. Robbie, you want to say something about this guy, Kelechi?
Well, for that game, I was actually surprised that they won against Aston Villa, because I think my prediction on Friday was that Aston Villa were actually going to chew Leicester City up. But Senior Man Chaos actually came to the party. Aston Villa scored some beautiful goals in that particular encounter. At the point in time, it was more or less like a topsy-turvy affair, because Leicester City scored first, Aston Villa equalized and took the lead. Leicester City equalized, and from there, it was more or less like Leicester City. But I think in that game, we saw the old Kelechi Iheanacho come to the fore. Hopefully, he's able to keep his spot that is in the team. And of course, I think right now they are doing very well in the EPL.
All right. Moving into number 3. His name is Samuel Ayanride of Nigeria, who scored a brace in Shooting Star. It's only Kunle that will know about this guy. Kunle.
No, it's better for you, because Robbie was at the game. This guy is tall. Robbie was there. At the game. Robbie was there. So Robbie will be in a position.
Let's talk about our main guy, our local guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about him. For Ayanride, I think Ayanride. Me? Funny enough, I was actually not in town. I was not in town. I was in Ife, but I'm going to see the game of this weekend, because it is more or less one of the biggest game around. Fans will be up against Bendel Insurance.
I thought you saw. I didn't
see the game, but I was able to actually see a couple of things as touching the game. But no problem, you can still do the justice to it, all the same.
Oh, okay. Well, for this guy, this Ayanride guy, well, he's a very young chap, and Shooting Stars, I'm sure, like Robbie can attest, he's been to some of their games. It's been topsy-turvy for them this season, but and whenever they play at home, it's always pressure, because if they don't get results, their fans come for them. Those guys have no mercy. Those guys
and they are super impatient.
I very impatient. I remembered one game.
They will just scatter the stadium.
Now I remember
they are the most impatient fans in Nigeria, and they are the most Shooting Stars fans. They are the most impatient, and
they are the most than Manchester United fans. Who trust me.
Man United fans are still patient. Shooting Stars fans are very impatient, and they have little or no knowledge about how the game is played. Everything you play against that team, they are always complaining. The fans are always complaining. Even if the call from the referee is the right call, they will still complain.
There was a game last season against WEEK-22. They played a goalless draw. If you see how infuriated they were, where I was in the media tribune, so there were now these fans, they just faced us, the media. And journalists, opinion. If you see the way they were looking at, they were now coming to talk to us journalists, like as if journalists were part of or like they knew something. I said, Shebi, you people, Shebi, that's the club official. She said, Eloban was sorry, na kilo kon, you know that. As in, they were. I am telling you. But for that Iron Day guy to score a brace, it is a relief, right? Because like we've said, shooting stars fans do not have tools. So when you are getting this kind of a win, it only goes to show that you are at least making the fans happy and all. So for him to step up with a brace, he do well.
I tell you. Now let's move on to number 2 for this week. His name is Chuba. It's also in Nigeria. Chuba Akpom, who scored a brace. Middlesbrough. Do you know something about this? You should know.
Of course, I know Chuba Akpom very well. He's a Hill End product. But you know something about Chuba Akpom. His career path has not been smooth. First of all, he couldn't break into the Arsenal team, and I think it's good to know that he's somehow related to Nwako Kanu. He's a nephew to Nwako Kanu, and he couldn't break into the Arsenal team under Arsene Wenger. Had different loan spells, but before Wenger left, he was sold. He was sold to Middlesbrough, to be precise. When he got to Middlesbrough, things were not going well. Also, then he got sold again to PAOK Athens in Greece. In Greece, he then got his good form, came back into the championship, fought his way back into the first team for Middlesbrough, and now he's the top goal scorer in the championship, currently with 16 goals, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm happy for him. At the age of 26. It seems like he's getting into his prime, and I'm sure he would love to join the Premier League team this coming summer. Well, we wish him all the best. Chuba Akpom, smash the like on our brother Chuba Akpom. Moving on to the next one. That's the winner for this week. I'll be right back with this. Let's see who is the winner for this week. Yeah, Kunle number 1 for this week. Somebody said, Victor Osimhen again and again. Almost talk to me about this guy, Kunle. Talk to me.
What do we want to say? We've spoken, but and that is what is scary, because this guy just seems to keep getting better into passing, and that is actually what is so scary. Because what he does, I didn't see the game, but when I read about the goal he scored, I'm going to try and see the highlights tonight. There was something about the goal. I don't know if anybody who saw the game can help me, but there was something about where they said his hands, or there was a way that he was way above the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper, in such a way that the goalkeeper's hands would not even reach. I mean, no, the guy is he's just phenomenal. And then just to point out, I think it is also nice to point out that I think he's also getting very mature. Osimhen was this kind of person, that pundit is son attitude. I think it's going away from him gradually. He's not tweeting rubbish again, and he did something where before the game, where during the warm-up, he kicked the ball went over the net, and it landed on a lady who was in the stands.
And he went straight. I saw it.
He went straight. He went straight to hug her, took selfies and all. I think that is a very, very big sign of maturity, and I'm happy to see that, because I care about his image, but I used to think he didn't care. But I think now he's beginning to care. People are talking to him, and he's really maturing. So I'm happy about that, and I'm just really happy with the trajectory that he's going. So we wait and see where he will be next week, because I'm very
are you happy with this? Are you happy with Victor Osimhen?
More than happy. You have no idea how this makes me happy. I think I'm happier when I take a look at the log of the Serie A and I see Victor Osimhen number 1 with 16 goals and then Ademola Lookman with 12 goals. It feels good to see, and I hope that they can replicate this form for the Super Eagles. But most importantly for Osimhen, battling with injuries since he joined Napoli, had an off-field issue with Luciano Spalletti. You know, a couple of people saying that they don't like the way he conducts himself on social media and whatnot. But at the end of the day, he's doing the business on the pitch. And just like Kunle said, we're starting to see signs that he's maturing and that he also cares about his image now. He's becoming the complete package, in my own opinion. He scores, he assists, and you can see that he's fostering unity amongst his teammates. He could have easily had a hat-trick over the weekend, but he gave the penalty to his teammate Kvaratskhelia, who has been in great form. And so that's someone who has been also been supplying Osimhen with goals. So I love that from Victor, and I just hope that he continues to work stronger.
All right. This is how far we can go, guys. Smash the like on the video. This is Intercontinental Sport TV. We do this every Monday. All right, guys. Is there any other thing? I think Real Madrid lost to Mallorca, and it's going to be a dent for them. I mean, it's crazy.
I think it's safe to say that Barcelona have won La Liga, but you might never know.
So. Let me look.
Real Madrid are stretched. Like, do you know the amount of travels they've had? They went all the way to Saudi Arabia to play the Copa. Is it Copa? The Spanish Super Cup. Now they are in Morocco again. They are executing the club. Okay, even though Morocco is not far from Spain, but I mean, and then before you know it, now it's time for the Champions League. I think that team is stretched, really.
All right, guys, this is how far we can go tonight. I want to thank Sheye Omidiora. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to talk football.
All right, see you next week. On Friday, and also
yes, definitely.
All right, Okwe. Thank you so much for showing up. It's been
always
magic.
A pleasure to be on Intercontinental Sports TV.
All right, thank you so much. And also, Kunle, on Wednesday, Manchester United will be facing Leeds. What's your score prediction?
We'll be there. Nothing like manager, but don't worry. Sabitzer will come. Sabitzer will come good. Don't worry. We'll get the job done. I'm confident.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, Robbie, what else can I say? Thank you for joining up. What else can I say?
Thank you so much.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now. All right, guys. Smash the like on the video. This is Alpha Intercontinental Sport TV. Can go tonight. Please subscribe to the channel. This is how we do it every Monday. We talk about sport. We talk about football. We talk about soccer. We talk about everything in sports. And your main man, the great guy, the baddest guy, the Nicky in the house. They call me the Don. Smash the like on the video. Bye for now. On this note, I'm going to leave you with this. Still same time next week.